All right, family. We live. Y'all already know what it is. The General Sarvasun Seti live on General Seti, Sarvasun Seti YouTube page. Make sure y'all subscribe. Get over there to my Patreon. Y'all already know we got that work we just dropped. Heavy mental on Patreon today. You need to get on over there. We got membership videos went up on both pages, General Seti and Sarvasun Seti. Check it out. Go to the home page. Check out the new exclusive membership videos, kingseti.com, official General Seti product, t-shirts, hoodies, African and Kemetic necklaces. We got it for your family. Check it out. And also my Teachable. We got the 25 steps to the redemption, a definitive black manhood. You can click the link right down in the video description, also in the chat. And make sure y'all subscribe and get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it, and share it with your family and friends. Let's go to work, family. Why ancient Egypt is the most important civilization in all of world history. You see, we got to put this shit, we got to start getting, serious about what the fuck we talking on this internet. Okay? All these ideologies up here. But the one clear thing is that one stands out far from the rest. Okay? And why we cannot do without ancient Egypt. We just can't do it without ancient Egypt. As a race, as a people, we cannot do without. You can do it damn near without any goddamn thing else. The one thing you cannot do without is Kush in Egypt, in the Nile Valley. Just can't do without it. Because, number one, when we look at the development of the world, where we at today, we have to understand that Egypt is the first modern civilization, even though it's ancient in the far past, back in the past. It is the first civilization. See, we could talk about Egypt and talk about technology. You can't talk about no goddamn technology with no Hebrews. You can't even talk about the technology with the Muslim. The Muslim, after they came into Africa, but the Arab, the Muslim in Arabia, previous to coming into Africa, can't talk about no goddamn mathematics and no science. Cannot do it. You see, they were, they was over there scooting through the desert. You see, with goats, and you don't need no damn science and mathematics to herd goat and camels and things of that nature. You don't need science for that. So when you talk about the Quran, and they always talk about how scientific the Quran is, and here it is, a goddamn book written for goat herders, and they gonna tell you all the science that's in there. Yeah, if it is some science, it was stolen, just like all the other shit that was stolen out of Africa. You see, motherfuckers talk about Mesopotamia. Ain't nothing over there in Mesopotamia. That, you understand? Nothing over in Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia was not a living, an example that where it influenced civilization. Egypt influenced Greece. Egypt influenced Rome. Egypt influenced all the European civilizations. You see, black and white. You see, pre Caucasian Europe. You see, Asia, India, China, all of these civilizations. Hold just a second, family. So, and what's crazy, as a matter of fact, let me give, it is the most mentioned. Black power to all my family out there. I just clicked into my comments. Black power. Nephew was popping with your all the family in the house. Yeah, we got we putting them on the run. Yeah, we got to come with the 5. We got to come with the 5. You see, so when we talk about, you talking about, didn't nobody ask you to mention Egypt is the standard. is the classical standard of civilization. That's why everybody attached themselves to ancient Egypt. It don't make no difference. You could be way over here and you got niggas talking about the Mississippi is the Nile. You see, the Mississippi is the Nile, and the Fertile Crescent. They all, but they got to connect one way or another. Didn't nobody ask them to say that? You see, that's tethering. Motherfucker won't talk about tethering. That's tethering, where you have to tether yourself to something substantial. You see, you have to tether yourself to something substantial because you don't have that type of advanced technology that you can see, you understand? So that, you can adore the advancement of your people on their own land. You have to say, oh, that's us, and you have to, you got the so-called the Mayan, the so-called Mayanness, like the, what's his name? Slater, who said that, Egypt, that the Mayans existed before the Egyptians and this, that, and the third. Everybody want to attack Atlantis, that the Atlanteans went to Egypt. Everybody got to tether to Egypt. Why? You know why? Because you see them pyramids back there, they still standing. They don't require you to say a damn thing about them neither. They there, and everybody know the type of science that would have been needed to put them there. You see, so Egypt stands out amongst all civilizations in the ancient world. You see, that we cannot do without. And people just got to realize, even today, the 365-day calendar that you own today come up out of the Nile. Come straight up out of the Nile. Even the moon calendar come up out of the Nile. All of these calendars come up out of the Nile. You can see, I seen them for myself right there on the wall. You see? You understand? Right there on the wall. Paper, which is very critical. The Egyptians invented paper because paper comes from papyrus. That's the root of the word. That's the root of the word of paper is papyrus. The root of the word page is papyrus. See, letting you know that the first books in the ancient world come up out of the Nile. You ain't even have literature. This was the first time in the world where people were literate, meaning they had literature. Okay, even the Bible. Yeah. You was over there watching it. Yeah. Even the word Bible come out of Biblos, coming out the Phoenician word Biblos, which means papyrus. You see? And people saying that they old it. I said, well, goddamn, if you was writing before the ancient Egyptians, what was the fuck you writing it on? You wasn't writing it on paper. You wasn't writing it on no paper. You see? And so this is critical. When you look into the world, that alone you cannot. Egypt is because of the fact that it invented literature. You see, which is the most profound invention in all of history. Literature. You see, where you developing science and you developing ideas and you're recording history. You're recording these great thoughts and these great advancements within the race, that you could preserve it, that you can always come back to the exact formula and rework it again and have the same successful results again. You see what I'm saying? You can have these same successful results that only come with paper. Okay, that only come with paper, and you can go you can go downtown and you pulling file, you pulling paper. They going in there getting the paper. Sometimes they didn't put it in the computer now, but it comes from the paper. You see, it still comes from the goddamn paper. And so the alphabet, you see, which is very critical. The alphabet, when you look at all these, the Arabic, you look at the Hebrew, you look at the Greek. The Greek didn't have no alphabet. The Roman didn't have no alphabet. They don't even have manuscripts. You see what I'm saying? They don't even have manuscript. Tell them to show you a manuscript. Okay, they'll tell you about Socrates. They'll tell you about Plato. They'll tell you about Thales and Pythagoras and all of these, Solon and all these so-called Greek philosophers. And I asked, where's their manuscripts? And not only where are the manuscripts, was it mass produced? You see, I always put it on them and shit and say, you know, what was it mass produced? That let me know that you have mass, what they call mass education. You see, where you got state education, you don't got no damn. So people talking about nationalism. You can't even have no goddamn. Egypt taught the world what a nation was. Gave them all the departments of nationhood. You see? So in Egypt, you got mass literacy. How do we know that they had mass literacy? You can look at the writing on every fucking thing. You see what I'm saying? You go to the walls, every damn temple in Egypt, they got thousands of temples, from the biggest to the smallest, chapels. And you can go in each one of the chapels, you can go into the biggest, some of the temples, man, and the stela, you know what I'm saying? The jewelry, all got literature on it. Mass literacy. Nowhere in the world can you go. And you could take one temple out of Egypt and it got more writing on it than the whole ancient world combined. Do you realize that? Did you hear what I just said? That you could go in one Egyptian temple and it's more literature from the ancient world on that one temple than the whole ancient world combined. And don't even need the whole temple. One temple. You see? So it ain't even really. So that's why we need to quit playing games, because this is the exact science. See, this is where when you didn't reach certain levels and subjects that you can't even too much advance past. You see, you didn't reach when you get to the 365-day calendar. You see what I'm saying? Unless by some chance it's a hiccup in the universe and goddamn it, maybe a day or two pop up out of nowhere. It's 360. That's an exact science. It cannot be, you know what I'm saying? It cannot be added on to. You didn't reach the exact, the pinnacle of the science. So a lot of the sciences that come out of ancient Egypt, they reach the pinnacle in that science. And it cannot be advanced no further than what it has. Okay? So when we talk, see, the thing is, no Hebrew shit, all of that shit is garbage. The Arab shit, that's all of that's garbage. Before they come into Africa, then all of a sudden, then they had these golden ages of science and the Islamic golden age. They didn't have none in Arabia. They didn't have no golden age in Arabia. And then when you come into Egypt, all of a sudden you got golden ages. All of a sudden, them ain't no damn Arab. Them is niggas with an Arab name. They didn't took niggas that already had the science and force Arab names on them, and then say, oh, this is Mustafa El Amin, and this is Abdullah Khalif, and and all this crazy shit, and then say he invented that sciences was already in Egypt prior to any of the Arabs coming into Africa. So this is the ancient science that was already in Africa, and they didn't Islamized it and gave it a damn Islamic name. So in Egypt is the only place where you got statewide education. You see what I'm saying? Because when you look and you see all these literally thousands of temples. You got thousands of temples because you got small chapels, then you got large. So everywhere you go is writing. How do you think you think one or two people carved them damn glyphs into the stone? Do you think that it took tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of Masonic scribes? Now you got different type of scribes. You got Masonic scribes, and Masonic scribes are the ones that carve in the stone. You see what I'm saying? That carve in the stone. Then you got the scribes that do the papyrus, the scrolls. You see, you got some that carve into, the statues, which are also Masonic scribes. Then you got the ones that do jewelry. You got ones that do the coffins. They literally carve into everything. Have hundreds of when you look at them pyramids, and you talking about all them thousands of tombs and pyramids and temples, and you had to have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of literate, advanced Masonic scribes and scribes on every level to produce what they produced in Egypt. So Egypt is the only civilization in the ancient world that could prove mass literacy. You see what I'm saying? The only one. There is no other. Even India cannot prove mass literacy. Sumeria cannot prove mass literacy at all. Greek cannot prove no mass literacy. They can't even produce the works of they so-called philosophers and great men of note. You see? So this is what's critical, because we can come out of all that religious garbage that you niggas talking about and go straight into nationhood. And only in Egypt is where you can talk about nationhood. Okay? Everybody else, you're going to be fabricating. You see, because there's no proof of they didn't even have an alphabet. The Arab didn't have no alphabet. That Arabic is the hieratic Demotic script that come out of ancient Egypt. The Hebrew is the Demotic hieratic script, which they, the Egyptians gave the Phoenicians what they call the Demotic. That's what that is. The Phoenician is the Demotic, which is a trade language, so that they could trade, but the hieratic was for the priests. But what you call cursive or the Demotic, or what you call Phoenician, come out. Well, the Egyptians, it's obvious that the Egyptians and Nubians had come to the Olmec civilization is a Nile Valley civilization, meaning that the blueprint for the Olmec civilization is based off of the Nile Valley civilization. And I explained that no different, that the Western world today is the blueprint. You see? I don't believe, how is America gonna be Egypt? Egypt is Egypt. You see them pyramids behind? There we go. There's no writing in America. Show me the books. You got to come up with a theory. Oh, where they got? I don't have to come up with no theory in Egypt. I've been to both. There's nothing that you can compare in America to no damn Egypt. But see, that's what I call tethering. You tethering now, because I have never heard that until this so-called indigenous movement where they trying to say that Egypt is in America. But also, yeah, you know what? But again, I'm gonna tell you, when they first found these pyramids over here, they did say Egypto de America. Yeah, Egypt in America, meaning that, yeah, the pyramids, because they had pyramids, they saying, but they ain't saying that America is Egypt. No, they saying that this was a colony of ancient Egypt. Ain't nothing in America gonna compare to ancient Egypt. We got to quit pipe dreaming now. We got to quit pipe dreaming now. We got to be serious about reality. Again, we got to understand that show me the alphabets. You show me the literature. Show me where the world in the ancient times recognized America as being this great. Nobody said anything about America. There was no America, and the Olmec civilization is nowhere. It can't even compare to some of the other smaller civilization. I mean, the Olmec couldn't compare to Aksum. You see? Yeah, y'all tripping. You know what I'm saying? You can't compare nothing. Let's be serious. I've been to Egypt. I've been to the America, and there's no comparison. There's no comparison. So I'm gonna move beyond. Just like I said, you got mass production of literature in ancient Egypt that still exists today. Show me anything. You got Imhotep, who lived around 2700 BC. He's sitting with a scroll in his lap. You see, the oldest, you don't even have manuscripts. Majority of the manuscripts in the Americas, you got a few what they call codexes, but them is in the AD period. You don't have no BC literature. You see what I'm saying? You don't have no BC literature. If you do, it's little scraps. It's a scrap here, a scrap there. The only peoples in that was the Olmecs. They brought the alphabet. When you look at the Americas, you can look at most of them Indians. They don't have an alphabet, man. I believe the first alphabet of the so-called Indian in the Americas was in the 1800s. That was the first time they got a goddamn alphabet. You see, the Knox civilization was advanced. You see what I'm saying? The Knox civilization was advanced. The level of sculpting in the Knox civilization was on the level of ancient Egypt, or in that particular area, very well surpassed Egypt. The sculptures in the Knox civilization, shit, they might have surpassed ancient Egypt in that particular field. So, I mean, Africa got a lot of advanced civilizations now. We got to be and be 1,000 about that. And you see, we got to be, and the Knox was before Benin, before Mali, Ghana, Songhai. They saying that Knox was the mother culture in the western part of Africa. You see? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But so this is where we see, but I know all of them damn 1500 BC with the Knox. No, they can't rewrite history because you got the master right here. You can't get past me. I already know what it is. But anyway, family, but this is why Egypt is the most important. You understand? Because of the most advancements in where we at today. You see, you wouldn't even have a calendar. You wouldn't have literacy. You see, you wouldn't have an alphabet. The libraries, the museums, the university, the first civilization with universities. You see, with hundreds of subjects in it that you could go and get degrees in these subjects. You see, the first universities, the first museums in the ancient world was in Africa. In the fact that when the Arab come into Africa, into Egypt, then all of a sudden, all of this great advancement in science and technology. When the Greeks come into Egypt and the Romans come, and then they supposedly they ransacked all the repositories of learning in Egypt and constructed, quote unquote, what they call the Great Library of Alexandria. All these people knowist. They peak into civilization came through Egypt. That's just a fact. So we got to cut all this bullshit out, because any which way if you want to sit down at any given time and you want to debate it, we could do it. It's not a problem. It's not a problem, family. You see, so we doing this shit like it's supposed to be done in chronological order, in sequence, in prioritizing based on what is of great necessity to be taught to our people, versus the bullshit that y'all because really y'all niggas talking, y'all just religious niggas out there. Y'all not, we could talk about Egypt religiously, but then we could leave the religion alone for the spirituality, which we don't, but it's always there for us, but we can go over into the science and technology and other things also, which y'all can't do. You see, y'all got to stay in that realm of religion and mystery and myth. Yeah, they don't want none. They better not want none. You see, but anyway, family, we got a hell of a lineup today. I appreciate y'all being here. We just getting started. We're gonna get heavy on the science. You understand? General about to stay heavy on the science, so don't you go nowhere now. We just getting started for this evening, man. Click some links. Patreon. I drop exclusive videos on General Seti's YouTube page, Sarah Seti's YouTube page, and Patreon. It's all some new work up there, family. If I was you, I'll run, get to it. You see what I'm saying? It's waiting on you. It's advanced knowledge for the people, especially in a world where these niggas out here is in a state of mass confusion. I appreciate y'all, family. I'll see you in the next video. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beats daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Boom. Black power.